Hi guys, this is Dustin with TWPD. Today I'm going to make a little tutorial on, I guess, what I've done and how I've done in business throughout the years. And why I'm doing that, I'm actually going to go ahead and repair a couple customers' phones. I have a Note 3 here that I got to repair. So I figured I'd just talk a little bit about my history of repairs. A long time ago, back when I was a teenager, I started doing computer repairs. And this is, early 90s or late 90s. And I, played with my mom's computer. I just tinkered and did my research, and I learned off others, kind of like we do here with YouTube here. I put my failure videos up, I put my success videos up, I put everything up so that way we can learn from each other. I don't think there's any YouTube videos out there, period, with repair videos in that sense that has failure videos. So, learn from your mistakes, or learn from my mistakes. That's the best thing, so you don't have to make the same mistakes I do. So, when I was a teenager, I thought I knew everything there was with computers. I went to college, and while I was in college, I started up a computer repair business in Arizona, and I really did not like college. In fact, college was not for me. I went there for about a year. They were teaching me everything I already knew, and they said, yeah, you have to go through this, you have to prove that you know this. And I'm like, well, what's the point of that? Well, I guess for the credentials and whatnot, you have to do that. Well, I concluded that is something that I just don't want to repeat in my life, to learn things over and over again. That's the whole point of these videos, so you guys don't have to learn through my mistakes or issues. So, while I was in college, I was doing computer repair and, fixing viruses, fixing hardware issues, learning the basics of soldering, all that stuff. And, I did this all through just research, tinkering. There was not much for YouTube back then because it didn't exist until, I think, 2004? I'm not too sure. Someone could probably fix that quote there. Anyways, maybe 2005. I don't know. So, I had to teach myself how to do everything. So that's how I learned. You guys are learning the easy way, which is learning off of others on YouTube. So if you don't have the mind to, just learn how to separate this glass all on your own and, learn to take the hits and cost on it, then it's probably not a business for you. You have to have the tinkerer mind, I call it. The guy who loves to play chess, like me, loves a good challenge and doesn't give up easily. I actually had to deal with a lot of ADHD. I was one of the severest available, I guess, in Utah. I was rated one of the highest children out there. I learned to control it, and I also learned to take alternative health medications eventually and get myself off of dexedrine. And the true self really came out, the self that likes to experiment and play with and tinker and whatnot. The dexedrine just suppressed all that. It was terrible. I absolutely hated it. So for one, bring your true self out. You have to have a passion to do this kind of business. This is something I'm very passionate about. I'm very strong for it, and I want to do good things with the money. I want to be able to help people find jobs. And for the longest time, I thought, okay, I'm going to create a huge network of people that work together and are under one name, TWPD. Well, so far that has not worked out. So here's my conclusion, guys. If you want to use the TWPD name, 5% of your sales. If not, do your own thing. I don't care. But if you want to do that, I'll throw you on the website. You can use our website. And eventually I'm going to build a really, really nice website when I can afford it. But unfortunately, That website was all self-built by me, by hand, on Wix, and tens of thousands of hours spent doing that. I've spent so much time. I've had so many people steal from me and rob me and, you know, open up TechMDs and close down, or, you know, just because they got in rough times or slow times and they didn't want to pay me back on the parts that I gave them. So I'm done doing all that. If you want to, like I said, if you want to become TechMD name, you really got to have your own money, your own start. Now, I do plan on creating my own school, and if you want to come here to Utah, fly down and get a couple days of training, we can get you be a level 1 technician, where you work on Samsungs and iPhones, and then you can work up to doing further and higher advances either through YouTube or more schooling if you'd like. Until then, I mean, this is all I got on YouTube. Here is these tutorials that I'm about to give on business. Okay, so back to my history here. And this is the ADD kicking in. I can go all over the place. So I started a computer repair. I was very successful. I made a lot of money. I didn't want to live in Arizona anymore, so I moved out of state and back to my hometown in Bakersfield. I hated Bakersfield. So eventually that fell through, and then I got my CDL and became a trucker for a little bit and did a lot of research over the road about technology changes, cell phones, you name it, and did trucking for about 6 months. After that, I was done. I was so done trucking, so I went back in and found out the gaming consoles were breaking like crazy, and that was my ticket in back into this business. But I had to figure out how to open up these machines all by myself, and there was no one really doing it at the time. So on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 and all that fun stuff. So we started replacing lasers, and then I started fixing hardware failures because I did know how to solder, and then I did some modding and whatnot. Found out that wasn't really legal after the 360. I shouldn't be doing that. And so I stopped JTagging and all that, but I did do fix all kinds of different issues with the Xbox 360s. We started with reflowing, as most people only know how to do nowadays, but we were the leaders in console repair. Excuse me, I got a little cold. More just getting over it. So we started learning how to do a better repair than just the reflow, because the reflow would maybe last a year if we're lucky, or the customer's lucky, and we'd only give a 90-day warranty. So it kind of seemed like a scam to me, in my opinion. So I sought out a better way of doing repairs. Just like this video is a better way of maybe teaching others how to do their own business. So you seek out better ways to improve yourself, and it in turn will be better for everyone. So I learned how to, and I self-taught myself how to desolder the graphics chip off the Xbox 360 and replace the actual GPU on it with a brand new one. Come to find out, people would never come back. And when we did, there's maybe just because the board was bad because of so much flexing of heat over excessive long time. And beyond that, though, replacing the GPU was the solid fix. We had people from all over the U.S. sending us business. And in fact, I didn't have the best rep. I tried to become better rep, but the reason why we didn't, because we used reflow for the longest time. And people were upset that their consoles would break 90 days or 6 months down the road. So we didn't always have the best rep. I didn't always have the best crew, because things didn't always go my way in business. And that's one thing you got to expect. You have this huge plan, this nice dream, and then something doesn't go your way, and you have to overcome that or close your doors, really. So after overcoming a lot of problems, we started reballing. But I noticed over the years our console repairs started slowing down, and more cell phones started coming about. I had a business partner, which is an absolute no-no in this technology business. You should never have a business partner, and certainly not a rich one, because a rich one, they don't know anything about this repair business. And you know, if they're an investor, you know, pay them an interest rate, but never have a business partner. They're not worth it, and you'll just, in the long run, there'll be fights, and each other will feel like you're ripping each other off due to, I work this hard and he only works this hard, or he's taking this money behind my back or not. You don't know about your business partner. But our company was called Knights Gaming Repair after my last name. And I had a business partner, Josh, great guy, and we worked well together. But in the long run, we couldn't end up paying ourselves well because we had a partner. It was better for me to actually have employees and not a partner. So we split ways, and that was that. I moved to Florida, and I opened up a cell phone repair shop. And that was a lot of fun. I actually had 2 stores in Florida, and one in Orlando, and another one was Winter Garden, Florida. And I think that's the right name. I can't remember. That one was only open for like 4 months, so we weren't open very long there. You know, I'll tell you a really good thing. It really happened amazing for me. I opened a little shop inside a really big barber shop in Florida. Really worked out well, but I ended up going on vacation, and then finding out the employees were stealing from me, and my landlord at the time wasn't very helpful, and he ended up doing me dirty as well. So just a lot of bad things happened in Florida, and I ended up closing those shops in Florida. So fast forward to Utah, move back to Utah here, and I opened up another repair shop. And this repair shop was not an actual shop, it was mobile business. I thought that would be the wave of the future. And I got a phone call, so hold on. And there's another customer sending in their Nexus 6. I'm actually making a little side video of us doing a Nexus 6 repair here. Anyways, I'm not sure where I was. Okay, here. Oh, so yeah, I moved back to Utah and opened up a mobile repair business, and I struggle, and I meet a guy who claims that he can really help me out, and once again I get into the business partner. 1 second, got a customer again. Okay, yeah, sometimes that happens. I'm doing this actually on a Sunday, so I was hoping that I wouldn't get interrupted as much. So I just had an iPhone 5C come in, so I gotta do that real quick. So yeah, unfortunately, I ended up getting a business partner again, and that doesn't last. Like 3-4 months, and you know, he brings on another partner. I was completely against it, and you know, we went our separate ways. He stopped doing the business, and that was that. So I opened up the business under, instead of MyTechMD, just TechMD, and I started doing business mobile again until I became where I had some more money. So I started with very little money, and I started using the money to you know, buy more and more parts, and eventually I just started operating back out of my home. And I said, I'm not going to open up another shop, just not worth it. So I, you know, started doing my home business for a while, and I did that for about a year in my home, and it was very successful. But I did notice a lot of important things, like drive-bys where people would just come and leave and would never stop. They'd say they're coming, and then they never would. And even though I had great prices, it just didn't work out for me. So I decided to go ahead and take on a loan, and unfortunately at a high interest rate because I didn't have the best credit at the time. Over the years, you know, just trying to be successful, it can definitely take a toll on your credit if you're not super successful. And so I take a high loan, and to this day I'm still paying this loan off. So I opened up a shop and get a lot of inventory, and here we are now in TWPD, so which has been very successful with having multiple employees and help me out. One thing I could say though, from all those failures is, business partners was the one, and then getting too many employees and getting lazy is not a good thing. So you should definitely do as much work as possible and have employees do as little work as possible. So I grew this company to about a $450,000 a year business as of right now, which is great, but it's not like where I want to be, because I want to be able to do a lot of awesome things with this business. And as of right now, I'm limited because of how much we make. So we're actually going to be getting a few more awesome things coming up soon, and that will change hopefully our industry and make a lot more profit. So a few of them are we're going to get a machine that waterproofs phones, and we're also going to get a machine that cuts out the actual plastic screen protectors, but they are the tough ones that are bulletproof. So as we get those, I'll show you guys what they are, and then hopefully we'll get you signed up with them, so that way you guys can start making even additional amount of money. As of right now, we don't have any of that, so I can't even account for how well that machine works. Neither machines, but hopefully soon. I gotta pause again because I'm already finished. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to check out that customer, and sorry about the camera keep on falling too, but I don't really have the greatest stand for my tablet here. So yeah, full assemblies, they're awesome. 5C, 1 minute repair, and customers are in and out of your store in 2 minutes. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, and then I just have my technicians switch them out later on when we're slow or there's nothing to do. So that way it's a speedier repair for the customer, and it's all good for everybody. So let's see here. So now I'm in my shop, and I'm always thinking of creative different ways. And so I decided a long time ago to start doing these YouTube videos, mainly to show future techs when I do hire them to how to do the repair, so that way I don't have to spend time training everybody, and also to it's kind of like a humble thing. I do want to create a following so that eventually maybe that we can all create little home-based businesses, or even small stores, just individual stores throughout the nation with the TWPD name. So that way we all cover warranties, and we all take care of our families in the TWPD. But for now, that's it's not there yet, but maybe eventually we can do something like that. I hope that these videos that I create will take you somewhere. So, and I've had a few people call up and they said they love our videos. I've had a lot of people send in repairs, and more repairs are coming in, like especially the Nexus 6, because that's a very difficult repair, and no one does that in the nation that I know of. So I'm the only one who does glass repair, and I've always been the only one who does this or that for the longest time. I was the first one to do the Galaxy 3 that I know of. There was no repairs out there, and I did it. I was the first one to do the Galaxy 1. So it's nice to know to be the first, and it's mainly because I'm a trekker. I like trying new things, And the whole point of those fill videos is just, say, hey, look, these are my efforts trying to do these. Like, this Galaxy 6 Edge here, I'm going to make another video, and hopefully I'll be able to, do this repair. I haven't made it yet because I don't really feel like doing it yet, but I'm going to attempt to separate the glass again, and hopefully we have some luck. And if not, then hey, it's what it is. I keep on trying until I get it right. I do have one guy claiming that he can do it, and he wants me to send him his repairs, but there's not much it's just not worth it, for me to send it in. But maybe eventually might be, you just have to decide. Like, so the iPhones, yeah, certainly, my program that I have a local guy who gives me OEM screens, and then what we do with those OEM screens is send them back to China, get them refurbished, and send them back here. So I get the best price in the nation. My iPhone screens are only $35. At that current rate in December. Obviously those prices might change. $45 for the 6 and 6 Plus. So great prices, and $45 if I wanted any of my Galaxies refurbished. But I still like refurbishing my own Galaxies. I just feel like it ends up being a better thing in the long run to do your own thing. With anything refurbished, I have to tell customers, like, hey, it's refurbished, it's not as good quality as new, so you have to watch out for that. So yeah, those are my failures. Try to avoid doing any kind of big loans. Unfortunately, I have done that mistake this time around. Loans can definitely get you in trouble, but if it can make you profitable by getting like new equipment that you can sell more stuff, then certainly the loan is well worth it. But if it's not going to make you more profitable, then don't get a loan at all. So let's get into the nitty gritty of how to start a business. Let's say you have $100. Get all your tools that you need on eBay or Amazon or wherever. Go to Home Depot, buy a heat gun, and watch some of my videos and learn how that I do it. Then start advertising in free areas. Start telling your friends and family, and then pre-order all the parts. Get them to prepay if you can. If not, you might have to pay for the parts. Slowly start saving up to get more popular devices like the iPhones. Obviously, you want to get the iPhones, and get the devices that are going to be the most popular, like let's say the iPhone 6. You want to get a heat plate that I have over there, which I've shown in a few videos. So watch the videos. The heat plate is amazing. That way you don't have to really use the old-fashioned heat gun. It actually gives you a solid heat surface that's always good, and I leave mine at 100 degrees Celsius. So those are the great stepping stones to get going. Then you want to get more tools and more equipment and start learning and tinkering and get old boards and start desoldering stuff off the old boards and soldering back on or putting new parts on. They're really cheap to try to solder. That's how I've learned. I learned on old Xbox 360s or old Xboxes that just didn't matter anymore, and I broke stuff all the time soldering. And you learn that you want captain's tape, and you learn that you want flux, and you learn you want certain things. So over time you actually learn different things. And I also have a little soldering course in my videos. There's much more advanced soldering for iPad Rehab. She's really amazing on YouTube. She's one of the best, and I send all my micro soldering to her, mainly because I don't have the patience to micro solder. But I've done it before. I've done everything she's done. It's just not worth the time, in my opinion, to do any micro soldering at all. So I think we're up to 10 minutes here, so I can start cleaning this. So once you do your little home business and you start getting over $10,000 in sales, I would highly recommend, getting a sales tax license, getting credit cards accepted, which Square is great, and I can leave a little link in there if you want to get started with Square. That's what I use. It's a great POS system to keep track of all your customers. And you can also email all your customers too, like new promos and stuff like that. But which costs money. If you do enough business with Square, they can give you a loan if you want, if they choose you. So Square is a really great credit card processor that I've found that works great for small businesses, like myself. And then after you get the credit card processing, you start getting more equipment and more customers, and you start hitting, your numbers that where you want to be, then you should seriously consider opening up a store, because you will have drive-bys who just don't want to come to your house. And especially if I live in a nice neighborhood. If your neighborhood is really bad, then I would highly recommend getting into a building right away. And in fact, I don't recommend doing home-based business at all, just because people don't want to trust it, especially in America nowadays. It's getting a little ridiculous out there with, everything that's going on in the world. So, you have to get into an office. In my office, I'm actually in the rich part of town, Draper, Utah, and I pay only $815 a month for rent. Now, they wanted a $4,000 deposit, and I worked that out with them where I can pay, $1,000 a month. And, so that way I don't have to afford too much. Now, that's a lot of money. So just be ready to be able to afford stuff like that. And then when you get into an office like this, you also have to pay internet. If you want internet, I would highly recommend it. And, internet is very expensive when it comes to business. Mine's $200 a month, but I try to share it with my neighbors. So that way we can split the cost. But that's not for everybody. Not everyone can do that in business, but if you can, do it. So any way you can save money, do it. Make sure you get yourself a really nice chair. I bought 2 of them. There's one back there, as you might be able to see. I don't know. I just got it at Office Depot. It's a $350 chair. I got it, I think, on sale for $290. So great chair. It's good for long term. And the reason why you want a good chair is because you're sitting down for multiple hours repairing nonstop, and you're bending your neck over. Hire a good masseuse too. Get a massage from time to time on your neck, so that way you're just not dying of pain. Make sure you try to eat healthier and whatnot, because you're going to be sitting down a lot. So, all these things I can suggest to be a successful entrepreneur. Anytime you get employees or anything like that, find a good local spot. Like we have KSL for jobs and stuff like that to, hire employees, or just hire your clientele. Clientele is very interested sometimes in wanting to become business. Always hire older than you if you can. I always have, and I've always had more wiser people and more experience that way. So I tend to hire older, and then hire for 1099. But just make sure you understand all the rules of 1099. They have their own schedule. They can come in anytime they want. So more on call is how I say it. I'm like, hey, you want to come in? They say yes or no. So you just have a crew of techs that help you out. 1099, you don't have to worry about taxes. You don't have to worry about hiring a payroll place. And then just have all your techs, make sure they're savvy enough to do customer service and tech work. So that way you can actually walk away and be able to run a business. So, all that is really important for hiring employees. But yeah, never do W-9, because you can pay them a lot more if you do 1099, because you don't have to pay all these taxes. So I pay my tax $10 or $12 an hour, and then $4 a device. They're easy devices, so they can make around $20 to $30 an hour, depending on how busy we are. If we're slower, then they make their 12 no matter what. They can clean up, or they either leave when it's slow. So that's perfect. That's why the whole point of 1099, and you're there to back them up. So a lot of businesses make the mistake of hiring employees, and you don't want to do that. You want them independent, and you want them interested in their own business. And this one is taking forever to clean here. Jeez. On a Sunday, surprisingly, I'm actually busy, but usually it's pretty slow, and I like to do on-call, where they call in and I come in as needed. that's the best day if you want, or have an employee do on call if you don't want to come in on Sundays. But I recommend taking off 2 days a week because you might burn out. I don't. I actually work 6 to 7 days a week. And that's just mainly because, you know, I've taken on those loans and I can't really afford too much payroll right now to do that. Hey, look, note 3, yay. So you should, you know, get a tax ID from the federal government if you're in America. Anywhere else, I can't help you out because I don't know anything about Canada or UK, but you know your local laws to how to operate a business. Good. So looks like we're working good. Awesome. And you want to get a sales tax ID, so that way anything you buy for the business is tax deductible. You know, especially your parts. Most of our people's parts you can get without taxes because China doesn't charge taxes, but just depends. And a business license. Some places take 2 weeks. Ours took a month in Draper, but they give us a temporary one after 2 weeks. So we were able to move in right away and start making some money in the Draper location. Overall, I'm pretty happy about, you know, how everything's been going. And it's really just a straightforward business model. Don't get a business partner. Start up with your own money as much as possible. Create a good brand name for yourself. So you can either do your own brand name or you can do the whole TWPD idea if you want. I like to create a whole network of people with TWPD. You know, get a building as fast as you can. Avoid too much payroll, so do as much of the business as you can. Be open 7 days a week if you can. It's highly recommended, especially in this business. There are emergencies that go on at all the times of the day, and people call you in the morning or in the evening saying, hey, can you please take care of this? It's an emergency. And people work a lot, so sometimes they have to be only day off, which is Sunday, and they want to come in. So you have to figure out how you're going to cater to your customers, and that's where payroll really does come in. And if you can't, then work 7 days a week. If you can't do that, then you just know that you're going to lose business on the day off that you're going to choose. And if you have to, that's what you have to do. You know, get all the right equipment. You know, learn from my videos. You can see a whole bunch of different videos up on YouTube, and me doing a lot of different phones. If you have a phone that comes in that's not on my YouTube video, look on YouTube, see if you can find it. If you still can't find it, then you should be able to be savvy enough to figure out how to open that phone up. And sometimes mistakes happen, just like the Grand Core Prime video I just uploaded. Oops, I broke the LCD because I glue it on. Well, it's kind of like maybe you should just have the LCD in stock just in case. And I should have, but I didn't. And so, you know, you always should have backup parts, and you should always have backup screens, and you should have all the glass in stock if you want to do glass repairs. You should have, you know, everything that you need to do to operate this business is just by watching these videos and getting the tools that you need. Now, for marketing and advertising and all that, that's a completely different animal. We are pure word of mouth business now. Now, we did most of our business for the longest time through Google advertising, which is a great avenue. But just be wary of that. For every customer, if you do your advertising right, okay, if you do it right, and you're competitive, and your price is right, and you know, once again, doing it right, if you do a radius where customers in that radius see your ad and they're like, oh, I want to come in because they're close, that is the correct way of advertising through Google AdWords. If you do it all right, your averages should be around $15 to $30 a customer per customer. Now, you're like, wow, that's expensive. Let's say your repair is, let's say our Galaxy 3 is only $40. Well, that's majority of the repair, right? So obviously you want that repair a little bit higher if you were to advertise for that repair. So go for something that has more higher profit margins. For example, like the iPhone 6, we charge $110 for OEM displays. We're $20 cheaper than anyone else in town, and the repair only costs us $35 as long as we get the OEM display back. Now, if we don't, then we could cost more money, which we usually charge a customer an extra $10 if they give us an aftermarket or a bad LCD or whatever. And then we don't make very much money. We only make like 30 bucks. But it averages it out to pretty well good profit. So now when you do that kind of profit and you advertise on Google and you don't have payroll, then you're really set. But when you have payroll and all that and advertising, then you have a lot of problems. And so don't do that. So I don't advertise anymore on Google because we're #1 in our area when you type in iPhone repair or cell phone repair, and we're the highest reviewed. So when you advertise, just build a campaign that is searching for certain keywords. And I'd like to create, once again, a training class on teach how to use AdWords, and teach how people how to build their own website and build their their business and all the phone repairs. I like to make a little training school. That would be a lot of fun because I enjoy teaching other people how to do it. Maybe I'll make a YouTube video tutorial on how to do that, but I think I have to have some kind of editing software to record the screen or anything like that. And I don't know, it's just a lot of time and effort to show you guys how to do that, when if you just tinker and play with the software, you can figure it out. It's really not that difficult. So AdWords, great way to start out. Avoid being Yahoo, Facebook. Use Facebook as, like, tell your friends and family, hey, spread the word. But most of the time, friends and family are not in state, but if they are, great, tell them, and then have them tell their friends. 1 second. Hey, guys. Well, guys, yeah, the Note 3 just picked up. So, that's my history, my story about, where I've been and how I ended up here. The whole humble approach of YouTube is just to share my story and to teach others, and hope that you guys can all become successful. And I really do appreciate even the haters. Sometimes they irritate me. Especially my iPhone 6 water damaged home remedy video. Just look, it's home remedy, guys. It's meant to be like, you don't have all the proper tools, or everything is not going to be perfect on that video. It's home remedy. And then I have the really high-end video. No one complains about that video, but everyone complains about the home remedy video. It drives me nuts. So besides that, though, I do welcome people saying, hey, you should do this, or you should do that, or you should try this, or you should do that. Please, I welcome it. And please subscribe, like the videos if you like, or thumbs them down if you don't. I eventually got rid of some videos just because there were so many people talking trash on it. I had to get rid of it. Some of my failure videos, just because I drove me crazy with all the people talking. It was some of my earlier videos, and my video production is improving slightly, but I can't get Adobe working on my brand new laptop. I have no clue. I need to call them, and I haven't had time to do or mess with it. So if you have a suggestion or a question for me on how to do business, or a certain repair that you'd like to see, certainly I'd like to make an attempt. Anytime a new phone comes in here, I try to put it up on YouTube, and so that way you guys can see my struggles or my success, and go from there. But if you have any suggestions, please just comment below and let me know. I respond to most of the comments, as long as you're not being retarded, which some people are. But most of the time those are the haters. So, but like I said, I welcome the haters, because most of the time I can learn different things. Like, I never knew about the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 5S and the battery pull until YouTube. And I don't have hours on end to spend watching everyone else's videos, because I think a lot of the other videos are low quality. I mean, jerry rig everything. He has very high quality videos, but he does nowhere near the detailed videos like I do when it comes to detailed repairs. But he shows you how to open up the videos, and they're very high quality. They're much better than mine when it comes to that. So he has his own style. And then, iFixit, they have their own style where they just show pictures of them opening up the device, but no struggles. Thanks, iFixit. Terrible videos. But in the long run, it shows us, what the device looks like when it's open, which is sort of helpful. And there's always forums and communities, but I'm always a visual learner, like I think a lot of you are who subscribe to my channel. And we just passed 3,000 subscribers, yay! But when I pass 1 million subscribers, then that's going to be really something. But I don't know if I ever will. But I'd like to make some more videos on how to be successful in business, and I have a lot of great ideas. Different strategies and different things that I've tried that's worked and not worked. So feel free to ask away, and I'll be glad to make more videos. But for now, try to do your own thing. Don't join iCracked. Don't join any team unless you know that it's a team that you 100% want to join. Because I'll tell you, iCracked is not a great team. I've heard lots of bad stories about them. And unfortunately, I'm not the greatest team to join either right now. I'm just a small business. But if you want to join the TWPD name, then let's do it. I'd like to hopefully make you successful, and I'll give you as many pointers as I can to make you successful. We have one other shop in Ogden, and he does his own little thing at home. But, it's slow. It's hard to market. I have a lot of different marketing strategies out there for you, but I'm kind of weary about giving out my secrets because the reason why we make a lot of money is not just because of word of mouth. We have a marketing strategy that works real well for us, and it's obviously to do with the cell phone representatives. So get creative, find ways to make money, and get somebody who's really good at sales on your team. Like I have John, he's amazing at sales, even better than I am. He's been doing it for 40 years, so he's an older guy, but he's really good, and he knows how to get in tune with people real well and get them over here. So anyways, that's my story, and thanks for listening. If you listened the whole way through, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And this is Dustin Knight signing off.